Occupy Museums group. It came directly out of Occupy Wall Street, and it's still we are part of Occupy Wall Street. So um, many of us were doing other things in the movement from the beginning. I was there at the very beginning of Occupy Wall Street, and uh, in Zuccotti Park, you might have read about. There were different groups, different working groups. So there was like a group that dealt with food and legal attention and medical, and then there was a group for arts and culture and some other kind of non-basic groups that were organized around themes. So from this arts and culture group, all the artists were coming together and meeting and deciding what to do as artists within the movement. Because basically, for the first month or so, we were, marching to Wall Street and pushing against the cops every day and speaking to all the people coming, speaking to the media. So making signs. So as artists, we were trying to decide particularly what to do. And about a month after the beginning of Occupy Wall Street in October 12th, I came up with this idea to occupy museums. Not only me, but there are others in the movement who were thinking about what to do about, what to do about our world, not just the Wall Street world, but the world of culture where money and inequality is also such a problem. And there's very few sort of places for 99%. The money also rises to the top. So on October 18th, I wrote a manifesto. It released from Facebook and went onto the web, went kind of viral, and then about 10 different newspapers all around the U.S. picked it up before the action. We went to the Museum of Modern Art and did a general assembly in front of the Museum of Modern Art. And a bunch of different people from Occupy were there, and we formed a group from that first action. Because it was such a big controversy, clearly we had sort of struck a nerve within the world of culture in the cultural world, people were happy to look at the banks as kind of the bad guys, but to acknowledge that there's huge inequalities in the cultural world, and that the auctions and the art fairs are symbols for inequality, because the wealthiest individuals who are profiting from the tax cuts and from globalization have too much money, and that's one reason they're putting their money into tangible assets such as gold and wine and silver and things like that. So we saw this as exactly the same struggle and conversation as Occupy Wall Street.